Roadrunner Rundown on Bakersfield.com and the CSUB Roadrunners Digital Network. Live from the Dignity Health Studios in downtown Bakersfield, California.
And welcome in once again to Roadrunner Rundown, the official program, CSUB Roadrunner Athletics. I'm Corey Costello. Welcome to the show on this election day. Yep, see, go vote. Do your patriotic duty. I voted early so I could wear the sticker on the show just to make sure everyone knows I did what I needed to do. Well, welcome to the program. We got a special basketball show here today as we're going to be really previewing the upcoming men's and women's basketball season. The men's team gets going this Saturday night, an exhibition against Whittier College at the Icardo Center. And so with that in mind, and the Roadrunners just a week away from starting their season for real, we'll speak with head coach Rod Barnes coming up in the next segment. Also joining us on the program, senior guard Javonte Maynor on the show. We'll chat with him about the his final year with the Roadrunners and really what's different about this season. The men's team, by the way, playing a close scrimmage this past weekend. They played at Pepperdine. We'll kind of chat with Coach about what he saw in that scrimmage and what he thought about his team getting ready for the games that will count a week from now. And, of course, Saturday's exhibition, another sort of showcase for the squad. So we'll chat with him about that. Javonte Maynor as well. And then third and final segment, Alyssa Shannon will join us on the program. She is a guard for the CSUB women's basketball team. A late substitute. Dajy Vines was supposed to be on the show, but Dajy got sick. So we're going to be speaking with Alyssa, the last-minute fill-in for Dajy Vines, but we'll chat with her about the upcoming season as well. Women's basketball gets going on the 14th. They played a scrimmage this past weekend at USC. They'll scrimmage one more time in a closed setting this weekend, and then they'll get their games going next week in against Air Force at home at the Icardo Center. So we'll speak with Alyssa coming up as well on the program. So a lot of basketball to get to on the show today as we get ready for the 2014 Roadrunners basketball season. And of course, a new special edition of Teammates featuring three new members, three members of the men's soccer team, who, by the way, had a great weekend last weekend. But we'll learn a little more about the Roadrunners through another segment known as Teammates coming up a little bit later. But first, we go to the highlights. We've got a lot of them to get to. We'll start with women's soccer. Roadrunners against Grand Canyon Saturday night, setting the pace early ahead of Regafalk, getting the ball on the spot. She usually doesn't miss from, but Blakely Frosch from Grand Canyon coming out, making the save, and the rebound is wide as well. Grand Canyon, though, right back at Bakersfield, 29th minute. Cassie Beckwith shot right here, going to hit the post. Right back to keeper Tori Ornelia for the rebound. 42nd minute, however, no such luck. No post to stop this one from Mila Benedetti, and she will find the left side pass to diving Ornelia. Gives Grand Canyon the 1-0 lead, head into the locker room. Second half, head of Regafalk, threatening again, only to be turned away at the doorstep. One more time by the defense. Moving it forward a few minutes. A long send to Regafalk, and Frosch out of the box to make this save, and she knocks away the rebound coming up here as well. Look at this dive and stab for the Grand Canyon keeper. That's how it would end. Grand Canyon beating Bakersfield Thursday night 2-1. Those were set, but then Sunday they played again, or Saturday they played again, and Grand Canyon won that one 1-0. So they played Grand Canyon twice. Bakersfield losing both, but the Runners are in the season into the season tournament, the conference tournament. Other scores, this is from last week's match. Bakersfield beating New Mexico State 4-2. Runners will see New Mexico State at we'll see New Mexico State at the conference tournament next week, or this week, I should say, in Seattle. Other scores from around the Western Athletic Conference. Yeah, this is not a typo. Kansas City beating Chicago State 13-0. Yes, 13-0. Seattle then beating Utah Valley. A little more soccer-friendly score there, 2-0. So the Roadrunners, as I said, in the conference tournament, we saw the score slide where they played New Mexico State about a week and change ago and won 4-2. That's who they will see on Thursday. This is hosted in Seattle, and they will get the winner will play top-seeded Seattle on Friday. Other side of the bracket, it's Utah Valley and Texas Pan American, first-year program, making it into the conference tournament in that sixth spot. They will take on Utah Valley, and the winner will play second-seeded Kansas City. So 4-5, fourth-seeded Roadrunners, fifth-seeded New Mexico State playing on Thursday to get the tournament going in Seattle. On to some men's soccer. The Runners needing some results this past weekend to get back into their conference tournament picture. And guess what? They did it. The Roadrunners, Friday night, 2-1 over UNLV in Las Vegas. A great win for Bakersfield. Julian Zamora picking up another goal for the Roadrunners as they get the 2-1 victory over UNLV. Then on Sunday, it was Bakersfield and Grand Canyon playing to a 1-1 draw on the match on Sunday at Grand Canyon. Julian Zamora got his 10th goal of the season for the Roadrunners. Continues to be I think he's got the third most goals right now in the NCAA. So 1-1 on the game there. So the Runners did get some points, much needed, as Bakersfield right now, you see him in the 7th place in the standings. Incarnate were not a tournament-eligible team. So right now the Roadrunners at 3-4-1 in conference play, holding on to that final spot in the Western Athletic Conference Tournament. Top 6 go. Bakersfield will see Utah Valley this Friday night and second-seeded Seattle on Sunday. So there's the schedule. Important matches for the Roadrunners this weekend. Join us at the main soccer field. They need your help. Obviously a big weekend for Bakersfield coming up. Friday night against Utah Valley and Sunday against Seattle, as the Roadrunners will close out the home portion of their schedule at the main soccer field. Let's go to volleyball. They've got a few weeks left in their regular season and playing at Chicago State on Saturday. The Runners playing a lot in the Midwest. They lost on Thursday at Kansas City 3-1. But while in the Midwest, feed the Midwest native Molly O'Hagan the early first set kill. She had 10 in the match for the Roadrunners. O'Hagan now back to serve, and she would stay there for a while thanks to the Megan Johnson kill right there. And then the Roadrunners set Danica Youngblood, and Youngblood gets blocked the first time, and then Chicago State just can't quite get there, gets a kill. Then more from Youngblood. This time the good set coming up, and a little more authority as she gets the kill. Eventually the Roadrunners going to win this first set, and nice rally going here, by the way, for both these teams as Bakersfield going back and forth. Louisa Martins gives it a shot there from the setter's position, and the Runners are going to recover. Partially blocked. Chicago State back again. Runners get a partial block by Youngblood. She tips it to Martins, and then Youngblood with the kill. What a play there by Danica Youngblood. Bakersfield wins the first set. That was, by the way, her third straight kill. Youngblood had 11 in the first set. Runners win 25-15 following that Chicago State error. Second set, little rally to start this one. The Cougars and Roadrunners had a couple of these, but most of them went the Runners' way, as did that one. Chicago State with the air. Then the Cougars back to serve a little bit later in this set. And Bakersfield, once again, they were in the Midwest. They actually visited Molly O'Hagan's hometown while in the Midwest this past week. So why not, again, feed Molly O'Hagan? Splits 2 defenders. Another kill. Bakersfield is going to get this second set as well. But how about another great rally? Because the Roadrunners in Chicago State had a couple of these in this match. The Cougars keep it alive that time. Another diving dig there for Chicago State. Bakersfield, though, Aaron Riley with the dig. Louisa Martins the set. Danica Youngblood the over. Still alive. Chicago State will play it from the right line. And now Alvidrez to Martins and to O'Hagan. She drops it in the back corner. Bakersfield wins the second set 25-14. Third set action. O'Hagan, this one not powerful. Coming up right here. She's going to just sort of drop it over the top, but too much for the Cougars to handle, and it gets the job done. Time winding down for Chicago State. 50-50 ball at the net coming up right here for Bakersfield, and Molly O'Hagan's going to put that one down all day long. And then Bakersfield going to continue to cruise in this third set, and Molly O'Hagan once again the kill. And, that's going to pretty much do it for Chicago State. Bakersfield wins it the third set, 25-17. They win a match 3-0 as well. So the Roadrunners with a win there. Now in third place in the WAC standings, one game back of second place, New Mexico State. Upcoming for Bakersfield. A couple conference games remaining. They'll be on the road against Grand Canyon this Saturday night, the only game that the Roadrunners have. They swept the Antelopes 2 weeks ago in Bakersfield. Real quick, to CSUB Wrestling, they opened their season this past weekend at the Icardo Center hosting Stanford. This one very close. The score, 25-6 Stanford. The Runners had 3 matches they lost either in overtime or right at the buzzer. They end up losing the duel 25-6. The Hammond brothers, freshman Coleman at 149 and big brother Bryce Hammond, the defending Pac-12 champion at 174, with the lone wins for Bakersfield. Again, they lost several close matches in the final minutes and overtime in the duel. They fall to Stanford in Pac-12 action in a 25-6 fashion. Here's what's happening for wrestling. Some interesting quote-unquote home matches coming up for Bakersfield. They'll be at the Gilroy Duels, which is technically hosted by Bakersfield. They're going to be a tri-duel against Appalachian State and Illinois. That's going to be on November the 14th. Then they're going to host the Roadrunner Open, which is their open tournament that they hold every year. It's going to be held at Selland Arena in Fresno. Again, November 16th. That is a Bakersfield quote-unquote home match, as the Runners will take over Fresno for the day. And then November 22nd, Northern Colorado comes to town. Bakersfield, of course, hosting the WAC volleyball tournament at the same time. So the Roadrunners, who have a very a big chunk of their roster is made up of former Bakersfield High School drillers, are going to hold that dual match at Bakersfield High School on November 22nd. So kind of cool for the former runners turned, former drillers turned runners. They'll get a chance to wrestle back at Bakersfield High on November the 22nd. Final note real quick, cross country wrapping up their season last Saturday, 7th place finish at the WAC Championship. Megan Thompson leading the way with CSUB with her fastest collegiate time in the 5K. And CSUB men's and women's swimming both beating Fresno Pacific this past weekend at the Hillman Aquatic Center. Roadrunners off to a pretty good start for the season. A couple 2-0 start for the men's team, 1-1 for the women's squad. So congratulations to the Runners with the non-conference victory over Fresno Pacific in the duel this past weekend. All right, time to get to kind of a fairly new feature, but one of our favorites on the program. We like to sit down with a few of our student athletes once in a while and ask them a little thing or two about their teammates. And so here is another installment, fresh from CSUB Men's Soccer, of Teammates.
I don't think much of us have celebrated, actually. The only thing I could recall is probably Julian running off by himself to the crowd, celebrated on his own, and then nobody went with him, because almost everybody's celebration has really been team hugging and everything, and then he just runs off to all about him to the crowd, and he turns around, none of the teammates were behind him. It's like, what the hell, man?
After a road match, who's got so many people around that they're the last one on the bus? Who's always the last one on the bus?
I would say Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dante knows the whole world, man. He just has crowd everywhere following him. I guess because he considers himself, Insta famous? He's Insta famous. Everywhere we go, he's always writing his Instagram on people, on the whiteboards, anywhere we go in any locker room. So, he just knows people everywhere.
Which player on the team is always just kind of up for anything? Just goes with the flow.
Tyler.
Yeah, he's
Has to be
there.
Tyler. Just, oh my God, that got something else, man. He's just, he's a character. He's freaking hilarious. He's your roommate, isn't he? Yeah, he should know.
Who listens to the worst music?
Susan. Isn't he listening to some Arabic stuff? Yeah. Stuff like that.
All the time.
Who's the most socially awkward on the team?
I would say Julian.
Yeah, he's always got that stare on him.
He just stares at you very weird.
Everybody catches him. Everybody has caught him looking at him.
Yeah, he just started kind of talking, and he just kind of just gazes into your eyes, and it just becomes very awkward. And you just kind of walk away,
You're like, what do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want,
dude?
Give me the Julian stare one more time. Give me your favorite motivational movie.
I like Gladiator.
I like Rocky Balboa. He's just running up the stairs, it always motivates me. It's kind of funny, it's really old, but I just find it very motivational.
Either Apocalypto or Warrior. One of those.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that? Reminds you of Julian? Because it reminds you of Julian.
He's never on time.
Oh, Eden.
He's always asleep.
He's always sleeping, man. He's always sleeping.
Smartest on the team.
Should be Joe, but
That should be Joe. Yeah, with that big head of his. You'll think he's smart, but there's nothing in there, huh, David?
it's nothing but air. Nah, he's smart though. He's smart.
The most stylish on the squad.
Nah, I think Eden.
Eden?
Yeah.
Well, he's
Have you
already
seen that? Have you seen that beautiful statue? It's a pearl. She looks really good, man. Don't you think? He looks like
James or Tyler.
Yeah.
I think.
Eden's always.
I
in the
think
back.
Eden, man. I give it to Eden.
When you guys have kids and they're playing soccer, who on the squad do you not want to be their coach? Who would you not let coach your kids?
Probably Lucas. I think Lucas, because I think he cares more about the looks. It's all about you gotta go tan, you gotta go lift weights, he cares more about the way you look than the way you play.
Who's the best looking on the team?
I think I would have to say after, looking around, I have to say Jerry. Jerry's, if you pass his funny character and everything, you look at his face, you can tell he's a very handsome looking man.
If he was a little bit taller, any man wants.
Unstoppable, huh?
Yeah.
Jerry.
It's almost the next Brad Pitt, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
The next Brad Pitt, our own Jerry Cleary, apparently. So there you go, teammates. My thanks to David, Danny, and Alex for helping us out with that one. And more to come with that segment throughout the year here on Roadrunner Rundown. More to come on the show today. Coming up next, Rod Barnes, head men's basketball coach, joins us previewing the Runner season and their exhibition this weekend against Whittier at the Accardo Center Saturday night. Back after this, it's Roadrunner Rundown.
Welcome everyone. Nissan of Bakersfield has everything for the perfect car buying experience. Like our beautiful showroom, full of the most popular Nissan models for you to explore. And our fully stocked parts and service department from everything from genuine Nissan accessories to factory trained service technicians to keep your car running its best. Plus, our massive inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles means you're guaranteed to find the right one for you. Nissan of Bakersfield is where you should buy your next car.
Current Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, transportation, and more. Visit currentbusinessjournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly business journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on currentbusinessjournal.com.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
Catch and shoot for three.
Roadrunner basketball season tickets are on sale now. Men's home games include Delaware, UC Riverside, New Mexico State, and Valley rival Fresno State on December 6th. Get your season tickets and be guaranteed your seat when the Bulldogs come to the Accardo Center. Season tickets start at just $99 for general admission. Purchase your season tickets at GoRunners.com or by calling 654-BLUE. CSUB Roadrunner basketball back on the blue court of the Accardo Center this season. We're all runners. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes, we're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
Welcome back into Roadrunner Rundown as we continue on the program. A lot of basketball talk today on the show. Still to come, we're going to be speaking with Javonte Maynor for the Roadrunners, a senior guard. Also, Alyssa Shannon on the CSUB women's basketball team will join us as well as we're getting ready for the start of the season. Real games happening in just about a week or so. But, one more tune-up for the men's basketball squad, and that is, of course, their exhibition game this weekend against Whittier at the Icardo Center on Saturday night. Joining us on the program once again is head coach Rod Barnes. Coach, good to see you, and excited for the season.
Well, we're ready. I mean, it's here. Even though it came fast,
always does.
So many new faces. Seems like we hadn't been able to get everything in, but been really impressed with this group, and we're excited about this weekend as far as the exhibition and starting next week. You can kind of feel that basketball fever in the atmosphere now.
Fourth season now starting in Bakersfield. So speaking about time going by fast, it's been a quick 3 years and change now into 4 seasons.
It has been. It has been, and a good 3 years. I've been really pleased with just the support that we've gotten and how things are progressing along, and we feel like we're in a good place and excited about this particular team, and think we've got a mix of new faces and old guys that think we can really go out. And the last couple of years we're looking for a conference. Now we're definitely in one and excited about it.
What's kind of been the difference, I guess, in about this season in preparing for the year with this particular group?
Well, we've gone back to the basics. We've got a bunch of new faces. We got a bunch of guys that were here that didn't play, a couple of guys that set out. So it's been a lot of teaching, a lot of fundamental work, a lot of details on offense and defense, and I think it's really helped our team, really, because as coaches, we've really focused on the little things, and we've seen progress each week. And this team here, I think, is maybe one of the hungriest teams during this time for us preparing that we've seen. They take instructions well, and they work hard every day. And so I'm looking forward to coaching this bunch of guys.
What was kind of the philosophy behind building this team the way you did?
Well, it was really about toughness was probably the first thing, and guys that had been in winning programs, because you don't want to go too long. We had a winning season, then we had season that we took a lot of guys out trying to prepare for the WAC, and we ended up falling short. And last year, obviously, we played well, competed well, but the wins weren't there. So we wanted to get some guys that were kind of fresh and coming off winning seasons and going to their national tournaments or going to the state tournament, whatever they were playing in. And we really want to build around toughness and athleticism. We got away from really worrying about size as much as we were. The second thing is it was position-driven. We've got guys this year that if they're to shoot, they're going to shoot it. If they're rebounders, they're going to rebound. If they're passers, they're going to pass. So that's the thing that I think it was built around, and it is shown. Our chemistry for our team is probably far along, even though the guys are new than it's been in the past, because guys kind of know their roles.
Who were some of the guys that obviously you talked about newcomers. A couple of the guys, who do you expect to be really impactful newcomers this year?
Well, I think Brent Rapp, first of all, a backup point guard from Colorado, who I think Ty Corbin is probably going to be our starter there as a freshman that was with us last year but has done really well in our workouts and our scrimmages. Kevin Mays is a young kid that, we've had a few scrimmages. One, he had 16 rebounds. He's an undersized guy, but he's really aggressive and plays hard.
He built like a truck, too.
He is. and he'll run through a wall. And the great thing about him is he loves to play, he loves to win, he loves to compete. He brings a lot of toughness to our team. Those two guys. And then I think Cortez Connors is a guy that, we probably could get an instant offense. I mean, he's a guy that once he gets it going, he can fill up the scoreboard real quickly. So those 3 guys, I think, right now are probably the 3 guys that are new faces that I think that people will really right away jump into. I think our other guys we got some chances to really, help us. But if you come to the court, you'll probably see those guys playing immediately and playing right away, whether they're starting or coming off the bench.
I know you guys had a scrimmage this past weekend. I know you don't keep scoring those things, but just your thoughts on what you saw from your guys when they got a chance to face somebody that wasn't, on your team.
Well, I was pleasantly surprised. We were farther along than I thought we were. Going into there, we scrimmaged them last year, and like you said, the scores, you break down in halves, and last year they won 2 and we won 1, and one of the ones that they won wasn't even close. And this year we played 3 and we won all 3. But I really, what I was expecting from our team, I actually got more. We had some guys step up that, I had been a little bit concerned about in practice, but our toughness was there, and that's what we recruited to. Guys stayed within their roles, and that's what we were expecting. But there was a lot of enthusiasm from our guys, on the bench, and we got there, and the guys weren't intimidated. They didn't play like they were nervous. The only guy that I thought was not as playing well as he has before, and that was Brent Rapp. But I expected that being a freshman, and he was going up against their senior point guard. So, but I was really, really pleasantly surprised, but I think it's an indication. I think this team is going to surprise a lot of people this year.
Yeah, you get that opportunity this year since no one really knows who you are. You kind of roll in, kind of pick to finish middle of the pack in the preseason polls. So, I mean, that's kind of a blessing a little bit, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, I thought last year, and I said this, after we got started, we want the expectations in our program because they're needed. You want to be people to be excited and want you to win and expect you to win, but it's probably a little bit too fast for our program at this particular point. We're at where we need to be, middle of the pack team that I think has a great upside to finish stronger, and we're about work, working our way up. We don't want someone to give us anything, and then next year we're first, and the next year we're last, and we want to build our way up, and we think we're in a good position this year, and think that as our program continues to grow, that we'll just work our way on up and one day get that ultimate goal, and that's being the best team in the WAC.
Absolutely. Now, looking at your upcoming schedule, exhibition this Saturday against Whittier. In these games, what are you looking for? I mean, obviously the win isn't necessarily a huge deal, but what are you looking for in these exhibition wins this early in the year?
Well, I told our team like the other day, and that's why I said I was a little pleasantly surprised. I just want them to stay in character, do what you've been doing every day, and I think as coaches we can build on that. We work hard in practice, so I want to see them work hard this weekend. I want the guys that shoot the ball and guys that rebounded. It's when a guy shows you something different, when the lights are on, that you feel like you kind of got a setback. And if we can come back this week and be consistent in our play, I think we'll be in a good position for start of the season next week.
Yeah, and that season will be at the Hawaii Tournament, the Outrigger Classic versus High Point, Hawaii, and Arkansas Pine Bluff. So, what are some of the goals of that trip? Obviously, it's always tough to play Hawaii in Hawaii. Good competition against High Point, decent team last year. So, what are your expectations and goals sort of that trip?
Well, I think the first thing, you want to go there and play well. You want to get off to a good start to your season. Because it's 3 games in 4 days, it's going to test how tough a team you have. And I think we have a tough team, and we'll find out next weekend. And also you'll find out if we have some guys. Ali Ahmed has gotten in better shape. He looks well. And last year I thought every Thursday he would play well, and every Saturday he would struggle because of just conditioning. And now we'll find out back-to-back days. And then you find out your depth. I think Brent Rapp is a good backup that could play, good minutes for us this year. So you get a chance to play him a lot and give him that opportunity, and hopefully what we believe will come true. So obviously wins. We feel like it's a tournament that, it's an evil kind of situation where Hawaii is going to be the favorite, but they just lost their coach. But we feel like we could go there and win 3 games, but also if we don't play well, we can go there and lose 3 games. And I told our guys the other day, we're the team that's probably coming off the season that was most disappointing from last year. So people are going to expect to see that team, and we've got to show them something different. And at the work in the way, if we could stay healthy, I think people will be surprised. I think High Point will, and Hawaii and Pine Bluff will be surprised, where we are as far as our team in this particular year.
Real quick, I want to bring this up. I want to ask you about this. Former players, Tyrone White, one of the first guys you actually brought here to Bakersfield, just picked up in the D-League draft, played last year overseas, and then in the International Basketball League, and picked up in the D-League draft this past Saturday for Rio Grande Valley. So that's got to be kind of first guy we've had to be drafted into the D-League.
Right. Well, it's an exciting time for us, again, and it's a great thing when you see guys that you they would come here, trust you. Tyrone came here with no league and new coach and, didn't know much about Bakersfield. I didn't even know much about Bakersfield. Made the decision to come here and to see each year he's gotten better and to have this opportunity. A lot of people in the D-League called me about him last week, and I told him I knew he would get drafted. I didn't know where. And I think he's going to, and I even think we have other guys. Stephon Carter's now overseas. Isaiah Grayson is overseas. I think as those guys continue to mature, they have the work ethic. They have the program that can say that they're good kids, and they have a coach that trusts and believe in them, that'll, really try to promote them in any way. So I just think this is a start of guys in our program that you'll start seeing year in, year out, make their way up the professional level.
No, it's definitely great to see, and a guy who definitely deserves it and worked really hard to get to that point. All right, Coach, we will see you on Saturday night. Season gets going with the exhibition, and then next week in Hawaii. I'm glad you finally booked a warm weather tournament.
We thought that after 3 years we'd take you so you could kick your heels back, get in the sun, and have a great time. But we're looking forward to it and looking forward to the season.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, Rod Barnes here on Roadrunner Rundown. When we come back, we're going to talk more men's basketball. Javonte Maynor joins us next. He's a senior guard. Back after this, it's Roadrunner Rundown.
Buying a home is one of the most important decisions you can make. Scott Tobias Real Estate is here for you. Allow our seasoned and professional associates guide you through every step of the way. Scott Tobias Real Estate is a full-service real estate company providing expert assistance in residential and commercial real estate. The real estate business has changed in many ways over the years, but the desire for excellent customer service is still very much in demand. Our objective is not to be the biggest, but to offer the best real estate services. We're open 7 days a week.
I am not going to ask him about funguses.
Fungi.
Honey, have you called Gunlocks about fixing that toilet upstairs?
I saw a plumbing episode on the Fix It channel. Yeah, I can fix it.
You could try it yourself, or you could just call Gunlax and save your marriage.
Hey, honey, I think I did it.
Gunlax, 327-3052.
That wasn't so bad.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield, California. The most complete news, sports, weather, video, opinion, and lifestyle coverage in Bakersfield and Kern County. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things local while on the go. Read it on your smartphone or tablet. Download now by searching Bakersfield Californian in the Apple, Google, and Amazon app stores.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity, on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
Welcome back into Roadrunner Rundown. My thanks to men's basketball head coach Rod Barnes. Coming up in the next segment, by the way, we will be speaking with Alyssa, Shannon, and Dajy Vines, feeling better. She's going to join us on the program, too. We got them both coming up. We'll talk some women's basketball as well. But a little more men's basketball chatter as we get ready for their exhibition opener on Saturday. Joining us in the studio now is Javonte Maynor, senior guard. Good to see you, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. Just working hard lately. Throughout the summer and up until now, I'm just ready to get this thing started.
It's funny how eager you guys are to get it rolling in the beginning of the year, and then come January, you're like, I need a day off, man. It's like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we got out of school around Thanksgiving time, so we have 2 months off almost.
Right.
So during that time is really no break. We have 2-a-days and we're still playing. So when we get to conference, it's like a whole new season. So in the beginning, we're all hyped because we're like, all right, let's go win the conference. Let's go win it. But as you know, when you start going through a little bit of crisis in the season, that's when it starts getting heavy on you. So I hope this year we can get through those struggles and come out strong.
Yeah, now, does this team, to me, this team feels different. I told Coach, I said, I don't know how this team plays basketball, but they could probably line up and play football with somebody. I mean, you've got a very it's a strong group. It's a physical group. How does this team feel different to you? You've been on a couple.
Well, we have a guy on our team named Kevin Hayes. And this guy, I think he was a football player in his other life.
That's what I told Coach last time. He built like a truck.
Yeah, we have this drill in practice where the bigs have to come down and hit a pad. And I feel sorry for our manager because that thing sounds off so loud. And I'm like, I get a shock every time he just hits the pad. So, and we have other guys, too. We have Cortez. We have Dajy. He's built, really big guy also on the court. So even though we're kind of short, we still have guys that can bang in the post, and we're very strong.
Yeah, it's definitely an athletic group. Now, this is your senior year. You're playing for your third. You've been here for 4. Mm-hmm. It's been kind of a long journey, but obviously you got to be looking forward to this senior season and what it holds.
Yeah, I just want to go out with a bang, mostly win. I know God will bless me to go play professional basketball somewhere, but my main objective is to win and try to build a program. That's what I came here to do, is to build a program and a winning tradition. And I just feel like if I can set that bar before I leave, it will carry on for years after I play.
Yeah. Now, you played last year in the conference, and I'm kind of asking people this who played 1 year in the conference and then get ready for their second year. What did you learn in year number 1 playing in the WAC that you'd say, okay, here's what I have to do differently coming into year number 2? I got to prepare differently, that kind of stuff.
I feel like we should come into the season playing together and building team chemistry. We have a new team, and that can be an excuse, but I feel like if you have guys that are together on one page and it's for one goal, then you can come out on top. Because we saw Utah Valley, they weren't the most physical, they weren't the most athletic, but they played with heart and they played together, and they came out on top.
Absolutely, and it was a tough team that could deal with the grind. I mean, how tough is the grind? In this league, I point out a lot that it's probably one of the few leagues in America where, you fly to one game on a Wednesday, you play on a Thursday, you fly somewhere else on a Friday, you play on a Saturday, and you fly home. And not many leagues are spread out like that. So how tough is that as a player when you're going through that grind come January through January and February?
It's tough. It's very tough because, as you know, you're flying into new arenas and you're playing a different team every night. And you have to have a focus because this team play you differently from another team.
Yeah.
So every time you go into an arena, you have to be focused on that team. And then once you beat that team or play that team, you have to move on to the next game. If you win, you just can't harp on, we're on top of the world.
Yeah.
You have to move on to the next team and be focused for the next game.
Now, I was looking about last year's stats, going over something the other day. And I know finishing things out last year became an issue. How much of that have you sort of focused on this year, kind of finishing games? Because I found the numbers. There were 8 losses last year by 5 or fewer points. I mean, 8 losses that close. So what, can you do different this year? What are you guys preparing to do different this year to close out those final, 4 or 5 minutes of a game?
It's habits. Like when you're in practice, you want to finish practice strong. When you're in the weight room, you want to leave the weight room strong. Anything you do, you want to leave out on a good note. So that's what we're practicing. That's what we're trying to do in practice. We're trying to have practice. We're trying to practice for a long time, and at the end, we're trying to go out with a bang. And that's what separates you from great teams, because if you look at it, most scores from the wins and losses of teams are at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what separate the wins and the losses across all of college basketball.
Yeah, and I mean, I knew there were a couple, but I went through it and I was like, 8? There were that many? When you count them up, you're like, man, 8 games that were right there. Would have been a whole different season.
Yeah.
You're, like I said earlier, you're on your 3rd season playing, but your 4th year here in Bakersfield. What's kind of been the best part about your time in Bakersfield, coming from Atlanta?
California, period. Like when I heard about California when I was a young kid, back in like 8th grade, I was like, oh, that's too far away from home, because I love my family.
Yeah.
Like we're tight-knit. I was living really close to my grandmother, so I was like, I couldn't leave everybody and just come way out here. But as I grew up, I was like, California, I want to travel where I want to see different things.
Yeah.
So I heard California. I didn't really know much about Bakersfield. Don't get me wrong. I thought all of California looked the same.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed Bakersfield because you still get the nice sunny weather a lot of times out the year. So
Right,
yeah.
Absolutely. Now, this group, this team, I mean, you guys have been together for a few months and mostly over the summer as well. What's the kind of best part about this group of guys? I mean, how's the team kind of off the court, in the locker room, that kind of stuff?
All these guys are positive. They come with energy. They listen to Coach Barnes. They believe in him. They're focused in the classroom. They're respectful to people all around campus. We're not really loud. We're not trying to draw a lot of attention. We're just a lot of humble guys on the team, and they all come from backgrounds where they probably wasn't a male on their team, but they contribute a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So guys know their roles now. So I feel like we'll be successful this year.
Nice. And speaking of the classroom stuff, you're wrapping up your biology major stuff, right?
Yeah.
Getting pretty close to finishing up?
Yeah, it feels lovely right now because as I look at my schedule, I have like 4 classes left.
Nice.
So I have a lot of time to go to the gym and shoot
Because you were carrying like a pretty heavy load last couple years biology-wise.
Yeah, I was taking like 4 classes during the season sometimes. So.
And labs too, right? You had the labs?
Yeah.
And those were like 4 hours apiece and stuff?
Yeah, like 2 hours, 2-hour labs.
Man. And so you get a little bit of relaxed time now, I guess?
Yeah.
Nice. So and that's going to be your finish up in the spring then, right?
Yep.
Good. No, good to see. And I know Coach Barnes continues to graduate the seniors that he brings to the program, which is awesome. So congrats on that. And well, good luck. We'll see you Saturday. I mean, exhibition game Saturday, but it's a chance where the scoreboard's on, the lights are on, the people are in the stands. So I mean, you still got to be looking forward to that. Treating it like any other game.
Yes, sir.
And what are some of the things just as you're looking to accomplish in a game like that? The win doesn't matter, but obviously, what are you trying to accomplish in a game like that?
Get our flow going, get our rhythm going. Just do everything perfect. Just try to play a perfect game, and not worrying about the competition on the court. Just take everything serious, because sooner or later everything will count, and we don't want to be lacking in any areas.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Javonte Maynor, senior on the Roadrunners men's basketball team. Good luck to you this season, and we'll be catching up throughout the year for sure.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll be back, folks. When we come back, we are going to chat with some women's basketball players. Dajy Vines is in the house from the sickbed to the studio. She's feeling better, and Alyssa Shannon will join us as well as we talk women's hoops. Coming up next, back after this, it's Roadrunner Rundown.
Buying a home is one of the most important decisions you can make. Scott Tobias Real Estate is here for you. Allow our seasoned and professional associates guide you through every step of the way. Scott Tobias Real Estate is a full-service real estate company providing expert assistance in residential and commercial real estate. The real estate business has changed in many ways over the years, but the desire for excellent customer service is still very much in demand. Our objective is not to be the biggest, but to offer the best real estate services. We're open 7 days a week.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield, California. The most complete news, sports, weather, video, opinion, and lifestyle coverage in Bakersfield and Kern County. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things local while on the go. Read it on your smartphone or tablet. Download now by searching Bakersfield Californian in the Apple, Google, and Amazon app stores.
Hey everybody, I'm Louis Amestoy, the host of the Baco Motorsports Power Hour here on Bakersfield.com. You can watch us live every Tuesday at 11 o'clock as we talk about things going on at Auto Club Formosa Raceway, at Kern County Raceway Park, and of course the historic Bakersfield Speedway. We'll have results, we'll have interviews with drivers, we'll have updates on Kevin Harvick and Casey Mears on NASCAR. Also talk about NHRA, IndyCar, Formula One. Also be joined by Mike Griffith in studio every day.
Catch and shoot for three.
Roadrunner basketball season tickets are on sale now. Men's home games include Delaware, UC Riverside, New Mexico State, and Valley rival Fresno State on December 6th. Get your season tickets and be guaranteed your seat when the Bulldogs come to the Accardo Center. Season tickets start at just $99 for general admission. Purchase your season tickets at GoRunners.com or by calling 654-BLUE. CSUB Roadrunner basketball back on the blue court of the Accardo Center this season. We're all runners. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to GoRunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. You hit the wrong button. Welcome back to the program as we continue on the show. as we continue talking basketball and getting ready for the 2014-15 season. And we shift gears here to women's basketball, who will get going on November the 14th at home against Air Force at the Accardo Center. Joining us in studio now, directly to my left, is Alyssa Shannon. And straight from sick bay, she made it. She's feeling better. She's coming on the program. Dajy Vines, welcome to the show. You feeling better now? You're good?
Yes.
Okay. All I heard, Coach McCall said, Dajy's sick. She's not going to make it tomorrow. We had a mystery guest thing going. Then Alyssa was filled in, and then you showed up. I'm excited. I'm happy you're here. Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about this season. First of all, a mixed group. You've got returners like yourselves, and some high quality returners. Obviously, Tana Outland as well, Bada Zampare. A lot of good core group, but then some newcomers that have kind of helped. So how does this team makeup been so far, Alyssa?
I think the team makeup has been pretty good so far. I think Coach did a good job in recruiting girls that could kind of fit in with the core, like you mentioned. So I feel like they're a good add to what we already have.
Dajy, you've been here a while. I mean, your senior year, you've been here a few seasons now. So, what's this mix kind of like for you?
I think it's actually good, and I feel like summer actually helped out a lot. Our team chemistry is there, and our team's close. We're building a great bond on and off the court. So I think it's going to be a great season.
Yeah, you bring up the summer part. I mean, this was the first time that really you had the ability to go to summer school and to have the team together. I mean, did that sort of help throughout the year?
Yes, it helped a lot because as far as practices went, classes, like off the floor stuff and on the floor stuff, like running plays, like getting to know the materials quicker than expected, and then coming into the school year and starting practices, like some of the information that was given was familiar to our newcomers.
Yeah, we're starting from scratch now. Looking ahead a little bit as the season gets ready to start. You guys were picked preseason favorites in the conference. Last year, you were picked kind of middle of the pack. Nobody knew about Bakersfield. Now everybody knows about Bakersfield on the women's basketball side. So, is there extra pressure, Alyssa, this year, knowing that you kind of got that target on your back?
I wouldn't call it extra pressure. I would just say that we know that we should have been the first seed. So now that they gave us the first seed, it's more of a make sure we defend it and make sure we go out there and play each game how we're capable of playing, and the rest will take care of itself.
Are you almost trying to develop this? I mean, you're almost trying to develop like this swagger, right? That you were the best team, as what they're telling you, and so you got to go out and prove it. Is that kind of the case?
Yes, and like Coach says, it's written on paper, but we got to prove it on the floor.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, what I've seen too, like Coach McCall over the last couple seasons, really sort of. I think he's developed as a coach as well, as you guys have developed as better players and a better team. I mean, give me your thoughts on that. It seems like Coach McCall is I don't want to say a better coach. He was a good coach, but it just seems like he's developed a little bit and really taken you guys in a great direction.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's really cool to be able to see just in the span of the 3 years that I've been here how we've really kind of started from the bottom and just worked our way and progressed. And you could see his development and just, the way he approaches the refs, the way he approaches us as a team, and just the way the flow of practice goes now, you can really see a difference. And, it's just experience and just him getting out there and seeing what he has to do and correcting. And I think he's doing a good job, though.
Yeah, I think he is, too.
And Dajy, you've been here since, you were here when you were hurt the year when it was really rough.
Me. Yeah, I think, from all the years I've been here, he's grown as a coach. He's actually a player's coach. He's able to talk to, get along with. He comes to practice with energy, and all he asks for is us to go hard and have a lot of energy in practice. Even if you're going to fake it and you're not feeling practice today, just make sure you're talking, having a lot of energy, and working hard and going at it. And that's all he asked for.
Yeah, and you've been here with him, like you said, a long time. But you were hurt that year, right? When he was the up and down year, right? Was that 6 players?
Our first.
His first year as a head coach. Coach. And so you look back on that, and you look where you guys have now. You got to be pretty proud of the progress.
Yeah, back then it was just a lot of frustration, trying to get players back, trying to get everybody healthy, trying to win games, and now it's last year it all started. His third year of head coach, things just started coming together. Now things are just looking good for us. It's just grown from last year. It's just going to keep growing from here on out.
That's why, a part of the reason, obviously, I want you guys to win, and I want you guys to go to the NCAA tournament after last year's WNIT appearance. But what a great story that would be from a team where literally he was suiting up volleyball players in order to play basketball because there were so many injuries yourself. And we didn't have enough players. There was 6 active players. He had volleyball players that were suiting up and playing, and to go from a team that could potentially go to the NCAA tournament. That's a tremendous story.
Yeah, practices were crazy. Coaches had to suit up. Random females had to come practice with us. It was just, I've seen growth. Lots of growth.
No, and it was one of those things I remember too. It was you couldn't even really practice because you couldn't really tire out the 6 girls that were able to play because you need them to play, and obviously being independent at the time, having that weird schedule all over the place was something to take consideration as well. Second year in the WAC, and I asked Javonte this last segment. I kind of asked everybody, what did you learn last year playing in the conference, given the schedule, all that stuff, that you'll kind of do differently, maybe prepare for differently this year, the second time around?
I would say just knowing when to peak. Conference is very long, and so it's really important as a team to, know when to peak, as far as not to peak too soon in the conference, and then conference tournament comes, and, the teams that were expected to win don't win. So I would say just staying focused and knowing that conference is a very long season and just taking care of business one game at a time so we can get to the NCAA.
I agree with what she said, and also, knowing, mistakes. It's better to catch the early mistakes now than to catch them later in the season, and it messes everything up.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a special year not only for the fact that you guys are a good team, but we were talking last week. Tiana came on the show last week, and everything that she's done, and now getting close to maybe I know she will this year at some point break the all-time scoring record. I mean, what's it been like? On a day you played with her for a while, Alyssa, you've been with her for a couple years. What's it been like kind of playing with her and see even her develop from a freshman to now being the scorer on the team?
Well, her work ethic is there. She works really hard to get to where she's going. I think she's going to move forward after this season, and she doesn't only look out for herself, but she looks out for the whole team as far as on the court and off the court if anyone needs anything. And then as far as on the court, scoring and everything, she's just not trying to score for herself.
Yeah.
She actually breaks down people to get other people open to score. And I think that's big, because at the beginning, when we first came here, it was just her scoring, you know, she was a freshman still learning, but she's picked up a lot of different worth ethics and all that different stuff for our team.
I know. You guys make me feel old, because I remember when you were freshmen, both you and Ty, and then Alyssa last year. So, hey, well, you know what, girls, good luck to you. I think it's going to be a special year. One more scrimmage coming up this weekend against Northridge, and then starting for real on the 14th. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
And we'll be following up throughout the season for sure. All right. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Dajy Vines, Alyssa, Shannon here on Roadrunner Rundown. Folks, we got to get out of here, but you can get the show anytime online at GoRunners.com. You can catch archive editions of the program as well. Also, coming up on the show next week, we're going to get closer to the start of the basketball season, as we'll talk more men's and women's basketball. Get some men's and women's swimming as well from Director of Swimming Chris Hansen, and some Roadrunner Wrestling talk as well on next week's program. Catch it at the same time here on Bakersfield.com, or of course on demand on GoRunners.com. Follow us on Facebook at Facebook.com/CSUB Roadrunners, on Twitter and Instagram at CSUB Athletics. Don't forget, join us this Saturday night at the Icardo Center. Men's basketball opens their season exhibition style. They'll be taking on Whittier. That is a 7 o'clock tip-off. Tickets are available now by calling 654-BLUE, or just get your tickets now and get all your single game tickets are available online at valleytix.com. Check them out and get your tickets for men's and women's basketball at valleytix.com. Thanks again so much for joining us. We'll catch you next week. This has been Roadrunner Rundown.